Coming off the school's first playoff berth in 15 years, the Bella Vista Broncos rolled into Roseville last week for the season opener against Oakmont. And at least early on, it looked like they would roll through the game, scoring the first 13 points, powered in part by a 54-yard touchdown run by Devon Norwood. That gave them a 13-0 lead. Then following Oakmont's first touchdown drive, disaster struck. A fumbled snap exchange on the first play of the next Bella Vista possession, recovered inside the 10 by Oakmont, returned for a touchdown to tie the score going into halftime. And from there, it was all Oakmont en route to their first varsity win since 2022, I should say, handing Bella Vista a 27-13 loss. In the meantime, Nevada Union, opening up at home, was in a fight for their own. Running back Brandon McCallum rushes for 201 yards on 28 carries and 2 touchdowns, but the Miners needed one last defensive stop with about a minute to go to hold off the Chico Panthers of the northern section 21-14. Tonight, from Bella Vista High School Stadium, it's the Bella Vista Broncos in their home opener, hosting the Miners of Nevada Union. It's live and it's next on BV Live Sports. Good evening, everybody. George Tharlson and Aaron Keogh. Welcome to Bella Vista Football on BV Live Sports, our second year here on YouTube. Lots of optimism going into the season after the playoff berth last year, but a lot of disappointment after last week.
Yeah, it's great to be back with you, George, and you're right. I mean, there was a lot of really high hopes going into the season, and it seemed early on like we were off to a roll and things were going to go, and then there was just a quick change of events, and we find ourselves here now trying to rebound with the first home game tonight.
So for Bella Vista, obviously gone is Damian Rickett, the all-star everything from the football and basketball team. He's down the road a piece at Sierra College with a group of his teammates, actually. And some new faces, also some old faces. Riley Dick is back as the starting quarterback, although he didn't start the year as the starter. He ended the year as the starter because of an injury, but that was important experience that he got last year.
Yeah, I really think so. I mean, sometimes you turn lemons into lemonade, right? And so with the Aaron Mora, senior, getting injured and Riley getting to step in, he got a lot of snaps that really should help him as he embarks this season.
Now, of course, Bella Vista, under head coach Jim Gray, features the wing T. Actually, both of these teams feature the wing T. They like to run the ball. And if you look at last week, they like to run the ball. I mean, Nevada Union threw the ball twice, an incomplete pass, and an interception. Bella Vista threw the ball 8 times, 1 completion. And unfortunately, there was also an interception in that group of passes that were thrown for Bella Vista. But Devon Norwood for Bella Vista, Brandon McCallum for Nevada Union, both of them had just amazing games last week. And we saw Devon Norwood with that 54-yard touchdown run for the second Bella Vista touchdown last week.
Well, and I think that's natural. Anytime you have like a Damian Rickett, like you said, who graduates and goes on, and we wish him all the best at Sierra College now, but you start to wonder in your own program, well, who's going to step up? And certainly Devon Norwood had a standout game, and we hope to look to continue that tonight against Nevada Union.
And the great thing about Devon Norwood, he's a sophomore.
Right.
And so they got 2 years left of him, and after this year.
Yeah, after this year, really.
So 3 full years. And so we're really looking forward to seeing what he can do. But early on, it looked like Hugo Lopez was going to be the star. He got the brunt of the carries. He's the one that caught the one pass last week. 60-plus yards rushing for him last week as well.
Well, and I think that adds, we talked a lot last year about having multiple weapons on Bella Vista with that wing T, and so that kind of can confuse the defense a little bit. So I would look tonight to see certainly Norwood a lot, but I think you're going to see Hugo in that mix as well.
And so that's a good 1-2 punch. Mark Newton, of course, he lines up on the wing. He'll be the motion man most of the time. Banged up last week. There was thought maybe he wouldn't play, both him and Matthew Bunny, but looks like they're both ready to go tonight.
Yeah, pregame report from when they were warming up. They were both dressed. They were both moving around. Didn't seem to be in much pain, so hopefully that will continue and they'll be able to hold off and be active the entire game tonight.
Unfortunately for Bella Vista, one of their standouts, Jace Budenbender, might be more seriously hurt.
Yeah, shoulder injury for Jace, so we'll have to see how long he's out. Did not practice all week. Do not expect him to be in the game tonight. Hopefully have him back next week for the Cowboy Classic, or Cowbell Classic rather, but we'll have to see.
Let's talk a little bit about Nevada Union. We did mention Brandon McCallum. I watched him play, and I just thought the words that came to my mind were "feed the beast." I mean, he did really remind me a lot of Marshawn Lynch, although he's taller.
Right.
I mean, he carried tacklers with him. He could bust through the line. Look like you have him stopped, and he'll just keep going.
Well, and at 6'3", 205 pounds, he's a large target to try to bring down. So he's big and he's tall, and that can be really, really troublesome for defenses.
And he played for the JV last year. Ryder Elkema, I'm sorry. I'll make sure I get that right for the family. Ryder Elkema was on the varsity last year as a sophomore, and he was the third leading rusher, and of those returning this year, the leading rusher for this team. And it looked like he got a few carries last week, but it looked like he took the backseat to Brandon McCallum. So it looks like McCallum's really come into his own. But Elkema is another name that we will talk about. Nathaniel Ziggy Pritchett, number 4 for Nevada Union, is another name that you will hear a lot. And then number 0, Carter Van Meter, is one that he'll line up on the wing, kind of like what Mark Newton does,
right.
Come in motion. They will throw to him. They will run the ball to him as well. So we'll talk about this. We've got information for all of these players for both of these teams, and certainly for our folks up in Grass Valley. If you're watching the live stream tonight, we're happy to have you along. And we've got a lot of information about Nevada Union that we will talk about. As always, the stats all compiled by maxpreps.com, and so they do a fantastic job. So we got a lot of information for everybody going on. So we've got player warm-ups going on. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. Keogh's Keys we introduced tonight as we talk about what it's going to take for both of these teams tonight. The keys to victory, Aaron.
Sure. So let's start with Bella Vista. Common thing we talked a lot about last year. We have to control penalties and mistakes. Far too many penalties in the game against Oakmont and just mental mistakes. Those have to be cleaned up if they want to be successful tonight. Also, we mentioned a few guys are banged up. Backup players, they're going to have to step up. They're going to have to make big plays. They're going to have to be consistent and reliable during the game. And then obviously they've got to control McCallum in every sense of the word. He's on offense, he's on defense. They have to control what he's doing. For Nevada Union, the opposite. They need to use McCallum on both sides of the ball as much as they can to be successful. For them, on defense, they're going to have to deal with Diego Leidecker and Max Keogh. Leidecker is a defensive back, Keogh the inside linebacker. They led the team in tackles last week against Oakmont, and so that's going to prove troublesome for Nevada Union tonight. And then also push the game pace if you're Nevada Union. Bella Vista had a lot of cramping last week early in the season. That can be a sign of conditioning. So if I'm Nevada Union, I want to push the pace, and that would be my key to victory. You
mentioned Diego Leidecker and Max Keogh. 10 tackles each last week to lead the way. So those are your top defenders for Bella Vista. The other point that you make of with the injuries, backup players need to step up. Next man up is a phrase throughout sports,
right?
But it's more with football because there's more propensity to injury than say other sports. So that next man up is key.
Well, and even for like a Mark Newton and a Matthew Bunny, who we anticipate starting the game tonight, if they're not able to go, if there's injury and they're not able to play the whole game, their backups are going to have to be ready to come in and make a difference. They have to be a difference maker for the Broncos for them to find success tonight.
All right, so we are just moments away from the start of this game. Again, the players to listen for Bella Vista on offense. Riley Dick is the starting quarterback. And again, just 1 for 8 last week. 34 of 63, 54% of his passes, and 463 yards last year. Of course, for Bella Vista, that is not that's not the main part of their game, though. It's the running game.
Correct.
But you do need to keep defenses honest, so you need to be able to mix in some passing here and there. I don't know if Nevada Union is going to be successful if they continue to just throw the ball twice throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, and it does make you wonder. We've only seen one game, but it does make you wonder. Obviously, these teams would have watched film on one another. Is Nevada Union going to try to run a few more pass plays tonight just to keep the defense of the Broncos honest?
Now, you may notice as we take a look at Bella Vista warming up on the north end zone here at Bella Vista High School, they're wearing the military uniforms, the Stars and Stripes tonight. It is Military Appreciation Night here at Bella Vista High School, in addition to it being the home opener. There are a lot of activities, of course, that Bella Vista does throughout the course of the season. tonight is Military Appreciation Night, and as well as the home opener. The band is in full regalia this evening. They're in their formal uniforms, as you can see that the band is making its positioning felt right in the middle of the field, and it's gathering as we are about to have our national anthem. That is your 2024-25 Bella Vista Marching Band with the national anthem. George Tharlson and Aaron Kehoe with you once again. You can hear the USA, USA chants in the background as well as the band is making its way off the field, and we are just moments away from getting this one underway. We will have the coin flip in just a few moments, and obviously, they want to bounce back from what happened in Roseville last week at Oakmont, but still, it's the home opener. There's got to be a lot of excitement, a lot of motivation. Flush what happened last week and get ready to go. Yeah,
they really need to look at it as though, hey, this is the start of our season. What happened last week is behind us. We can't change it now, so we got to go out and attack. It's really, really awesome to be able to play with such a great student section here. They're loud, they're rowdy, the Rowdy Rooters. So, yeah, we're really excited here. It looks like we've got captains about ready to go out on the field for tonight.
So the captains will make their way to midfield, and we will have the coin flip. The captains for Bella Vista tonight. We have Hugo Lopez, Devon Norwood, and Devin Crichton, and Max Kehoe. He's hiding. He's being screened out by somebody.
Well, if you're in front of Devin Crichton, that's not hard to do. Devin is a big boy.
Of course, Max, along with Diego Leidecker, with 10 tackles each last night to lead the team in tackles last week. They're not playing 2 nights in a row. Devon Norwood, I should say, just an outstanding game last week. 153 sophomore captain.
I saw,
how about that?
Well, he helps out with the Junior Bronco football program, as a couple of these high school kids do. And I saw him on Sunday at the Junior Broncos game. He was limping a little bit after the game Friday night for as many yards as he was running. He was a little banged up, and I saw him on Sunday, and I said, "Hey, you're not limping anymore." And he said, "No, I'm good to go." You kidding me? As much fun as I had Friday night, I want to get out and do this again. So he's ready to go.
Take a look at number 0 for Nevada Union, Carter Van Meter. He's got this big club on his looks like his right hand. It's all taped up and bandaged. So obviously there's an injury issue related. I didn't notice that in watching their the video of their game last week.
Well,
it's like Bella Vista.
I think it'd be hard for him to catch a football like that.
Yeah, but he could certainly block. Will he carry it much? So Nevada Union has won the toss and has deferred, I think.
That's what it looks like.
That means Bella Vista gets the choice here. So make sure I got that right.
Yep.
So they will defer, and so Bella Vista will be going from north to south, left to right across your video screen. Welcome to Bella Vista Football on BV Live Sports, the home of Bella Vista athletics, primarily basketball, football, and lacrosse. This is where you can find Bella Vista Athletics on YouTube, and we are also now on Facebook. Check it out, facebook.com at BV Live Sports, or you can go ahead and scan the QR code that's on your screen right now, take you right to the page. And I noticed a typo already. That is facebook.com/@BV Live Sports. We'll get that fixed for next week. So, but that's how it works. Do the easy thing: scan the QR code, and we'll have that up again a little bit later on. So, join us on Facebook. We'll do all kinds of updates. You're welcome to comment on the broadcasts and share pictures and stuff like that if you want. Let's go for it.
Hard to believe we were here about a year ago, but it's time for Friday Night Lights at Bella Vista. Everybody is excited. Looks like number 1, Angus Wright, is going to kick off for Nevada Union. 2 Broncos back at their own 10 to receive. Just moments away here from getting this game underway.
And set to do the kicking. That is Angus Wright, who will bounce this one. We're all underway here. And the Broncos will bring it out across the 30-yard line. And it looks like that was Hugo Lopez that had the return to get it started here for Bella Vista. We're going to hope that we can see these numbers. They are hard to read, and as it gets later on and darkness falls, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So Riley Dick is the quarterback. And Alexander Dvorak is in as one of the receivers in the backfield, split backs. This should be Norwood right here, going right up the middle.
It's always good to start with positive yardage on the first play, get a little momentum going.
So that is Devon Norwood, who brings it out to the 37-yard line. That's a pickup of 5, second down and 5 for Bella Vista. You're absolutely right. 5 yards on the first play of the game. Really hard to argue with that. So we can keep going here.
It seems so simple, but it's just positive momentum, and that's what you're looking for if you're the Broncos.
Wingman to the left. Give to the second man through on the left side, and the ball carrier looks like that's going to be no gain. I think it was Gage Titus that was the ball carrier, 17. He did not play much at the running back spot last week, but again, you mentioned there's next man up. It's Dvorak going out to the right, wingman on the left. Dick is back to pass. Dvorak was the intended receiver, a great defensive play by Nevada Union. And that is Logan Iondi, 6 foot, 165-pound defensive back, came up there, timed it perfectly to get his hand in there, and that'll bring up a 4th down for Bella Vista.
Well, and the throw was on the mark, which is good, right? It was really good defense. And so you're Bella Vista, you go, okay, if that pass is complete, that's probably a 1st down, ball keeps moving. So encouraged there by what I saw, even with a 3 and out.
So Ryan Warner is the punter for Bella Vista. It's a promising start to the drive. That one's a high snap. Warner will step in, put his left foot to it. That one's going to go out of bounds. Timing is always kind of thrown off when there's a high snap like that.
Yep, high snap and then kick off the side of the foot because you're rushed, and Broncos might have been better to try to go for that there, honestly.
So the ball will be marked. Looks like it's going to be right at midfield. 1st down and 10 for Nevada Union. This will be our first look at number 9, Brandon McCallum. Elkema is there as well. Iondi, who just made the great defensive play, is going to come out as a receiver out to the left. Pritchett's the one in motion. There goes McCallum, and he has stood up at the line of scrimmage for about 2 yards to the 48-yard line.
Well, true to form, that went just about like we thought it would, right, to McCallum.
And it looks like a host of Broncos swarmed in on him to get to make the stop. That's Pritchett in motion once again. Swing pass play, the first completion of the season for Nevada Union, and that is going pretty much nowhere. Xavier Denise is the one that made the catch. J.T. Thomas on the stop for Bella Vista. It's a gain of 1 to the 47-yard line.
J.T. Thomas did a great job there shedding the receiver that was blocking him to make that tackle in the open field. Those are hard to make.
Split backs in the backfield on 3rd and 7. Looks like somebody may have moved early. Here's Elkema, right side. They stood up. He's breaking some tackles, but he is going to be hit and dropped at the 46-yard line. So that's a gain of 1, and that'll bring up a 4th down, and we're kind of in that gray area, if you will. Do you want to run the risk of giving Bella Vista good field position here? It looks like the Miners are going to go ahead and punt to get this one.
Well, and I'd watch a fake punt here early in the game around midfield. A little trickery maybe.
And that is Angus Wright, who's going to boot this one away, and boy, did he get his foot into that. That one's going to roll all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And Aaron, you did a little investigative reporting for us. Angus Wright is an exchange student.
That's what I've heard, is he's an exchange student and a good addition to the Nevada Union football team.
How about that? Interesting for Nevada Union. Angus Wright is their kickoff specialist, their punter, and he tried a long field goal last week. The extra points are handled by number 12, Kaylin Williams, and she is also a member of this football team. Not often that you see girls playing football, but Nevada Union has a female place kicker. And that is Gage Titus once again on 1st and 10. We'll bring it out to the 29-yard line.
Nice pickup there.
It is a nice pickup for Titus in his debut at the running back position, as they did not have him in at running back last week that I saw. It'll be 2nd and 1 for Bella Vista. That's Lopez in the backfield. And Lopez will take this one off the left side, carries some tacklers with him across the 40-yard line for another Bella Vista 1st down.
And now you've got some momentum. So that's why I say that 3 and out early, not necessarily a bad thing because you had some positives.
So that goes from the 29. And where are they going to mark him?
42.
At the 42. So from the 29 to the 42, that's a 13-yard gain for the Broncos and Hugo Lopez. 1st and 10 Broncos. Titus at the wing comes in motion. Here's the handoff right up the middle.
Handoff goes right up the middle. Pick up about 3 yards.
And that was Lopez again
7-yard line.
to the 47-yard line. So that's a gain. They're going to mark it, right about the 47. So we'll give them 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 5 coming up. Actually, it looks like it's the 46. So we'll call that a 4-yard pickup. 2nd and 6. The Broncos, handoff goes to the right side. Looks like that may be Norwood. Across midfield, yes, that's Devon Norwood. And he'll take it to just across midfield. So the Broncos will be looking at a 3rd down and about 2 yards to go.
Got to stick to what's working here for you. Running the ball's been working, so something up the middle. Count on your linemen to make a hole and pick up your 1st down and then start to work, keep the momentum.
About a 5-yard pickup there. And so we'll look now at a 3rd and 2. Single back set, double wing this time for Bella Vista. The handoff goes straight ahead, stood up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe about a half yard. I think they're going to call that no gain.
4th down, a yard.
That'll bring up 4th down. That was Lopez on the carry.
Looks like the Broncos are going to go for it here.
Yeah, this is definitely short enough yardage. It's 4th and 4th and 2. Pinpoint. So Maxwell Prucher will line up on the right. Strong side to the right. That's Gage Titus in motion. The handoff, and the Broncos are going to be stood up right at midfield. Again, no gain. The ball will go over on downs. Hugo Lopez again, the ball carrier, and 2 runs there, no gain on both of them. And so the Nevada Union defense is held, and they're going to get the ball just like they did for their last possession at midfield.
Yeah, you've really got to have a conversation with your offensive linemen here in the break, those that aren't on defense, and really have a talk about what's happening up front, because to have 2 plays on short yardage and really to get nowhere right up the middle, you've got to find a way to make a hole there.
Just under 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. We've got some whistles.
Timeout, I think.
And Bella Vista is going to call a timeout. So we have a timeout on the field with 4:56 to go in the opening quarter. No score just yet. The Broncos have shown some signs of being able to move the ball, but it seems later on in the series things kind of go a little south for them.
Yeah, I mean, I just disappointed here that they couldn't get those 2 yards on 2 consecutive drives right up the middle. Sometimes you got to ask your linemen to dig deep, and the running backs are doing a good job trying to find the holes. So hopefully we can get a stop here on defense and get another shot at it. But they were moving the ball, which is encouraging. Hopefully that's a sign of good things to come here.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Nevada Union. McCallum and Elkema in the backfield. Pritchett continues as the wingman on the right side. Handoff goes to McCallum again. It looks like he slipped 1 tackle, but he is hit and dropped for no gain.
Well, and that was one of our keys to the game we were talking about with Lidecker and Keogh. That was Keogh on the stop there, right up the middle. So if you're McCallum, you got to deal with that.
It's be 2nd down and 10. Again, same set as before. Now it's Pritchett. Pritchett's going to look to take it around the left side and maybe get a couple of yards. So Bella Vista's defense is doing a pretty good job, at least early on this running attack for Nevada Union that was so problematic for Chico last week. It'll now be 3rd down and 7 after a gain of 3. We are so happy to have you along for another season of Bronco football here on YouTube and our new channel, BV Live Sports. Whistle as the play winds down in slow motion. There may have been movement along the line of scrimmage.
They're pointing at the defense.
Okay, they're calling an offsides on Bella Vista. Well, there was movement along the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you were right. It's just unfortunate it was on us. But, we talked about that. Mistakes, penalties, right? Looks like they were sending a blitz there and got a little over anxious.
Now Nevada Union's probably in 4-down territory if they don't get the 1st down here, unless it's a huge loss on the play. Iondi is the one that comes in for Nevada Union as they bring the play in. Pritchett is going to be the wingman on the left this time. Same running backs in the backfield. Here's Pritchett going to the right side. Turns the corner. He's got running room. Pritchett is inside the 30, inside the 20, and finally ridden out of bounds close to the 10-yard line. So we were waiting for that big explosive play for Nevada Union. And sure enough, there it is. So we are now under 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Holding, though.
Oh, so it's going to come back. No wonder he had such a great amount of running room.
Yeah, the beauty of it, high school football, you see a big running play, especially around the outside. Typically, there's a reason there was a big running play around the outside.
And we just mentioned 3rd and 2, possible 4-down territory unless there's a big loss. Well, a big loss is 10 yards on a holding penalty.
Yep.
And so now they'll look at where are they going to mark it, because it could have been downfield here. Could have been downfield holding. So the 10 yards might be marked off.
Well, it'll be 10 yards from the spot.
From the spot of the penalty. I don't know that they've marked it off yet.
Well, they were having some clock operating issues, too. The clock was at 3:43, and the head referee wanted the clock to be wound, and it wasn't wound until the snap, and then it ran after. So they might be trying to deal with that a little bit, too.
And the down marker says 1st down. So that's the other thing, is if he got the 1st down and the holding was past the 1st down marker, then I believe he keeps the 1st down. So we're going to see what ultimately they are going to.
So it's going to be from where the back judge is, right there at the 31, it looks like. Yeah, which is going to put it at so it's going to be
So holding Nevada Union.
So it's third down, I think. 3rd and 1 now.
Okay, yeah, it brings them back. Okay, so it brings them back where they didn't get the first down. So you get the down over, but they're still short. So it is short yardage. So if the holding had happened at the line of scrimmage, then you of course mark it off from the line of scrimmage. But this was downfield holding. So it looks like they just said to wind the clock.
Well, I think they might have volunteers do a lot of these jobs, and probably have somebody new doing the clock tonight, not understanding maybe the football universal signal for wind the clock and stop the clock.
So a lot of standing around right now to try and get this thing figured out.
I think they're trying to reset the clock.
And when they're not mic'd in the stadium, it's not like you can say, please reset the game clock.
Right.
So what they actually have to do is they have to go over to the home coaches, tell them, they relay it to their coaches in the booth, and then go next door to then tell the clock operator what to do.
Right.
Okay, so you can see the clock.
Now we're back to 3:30.
And they may be satisfied with that. And so now they say to wind the clock. The clock is winding.
Now what are we doing?
Well, it looks like there's a timeout.
Nevada Union's called. So after all that, Nevada Union calls timeout.
Nevada Union's going to call a timeout. So we have 3:23 to go, and actually they called it right at right as they wound the clock. So I think 7 seconds is a little too much to go off the clock, but who knows?
I was about to say, with all this running, first quarter's flying by, but now we've had this stoppage for what seems like half an eternity, and quick timeout though, and now we're back with that 3rd and short. I think we're finally ready to go now.
And the play goes right up the middle. It is a first down for Nevada Union, which officially now is their first of the game. And that was McCallum on the ball on the carry that time.
And that's what we were hoping to have from the Broncos when they had 3rd and 4th and short there, was exactly what Nevada Union did.
That's a pickup of 4 and a first down for Nevada Union. Biondi checking his wristband. Elkema and McCallum in the backfield still as they continue on. And here's Pritchett. Pritchett's looking to turn the corner. He finds another opening. Ziggy Pritchett, he's inside the 25-yard line, and that'll be another Nevada Union first down. So last week for Nevada Union, it worked really well for them to run with McCallum. Now it seems they're having more success when they go off the edge with Ziggy Pritchett.
Well, this is one of the challenges, right? If McCallum up the middle is not going to work, you got to do something either. They're adjusting. That's something the Broncos haven't seen, so now the Broncos are going to have to readjust.
And that's probably going to open up opportunities for McCallum later on.
Correct.
1st and 10. From the 22-yard line. Crossan is the quarterback. He's back to pass, and he is going to be sacked in the backfield.
It's Gage Titus with the sack.
How about that? He got excellent penetration off the line and would not let Liam Crossan go. And that's actually the first time we've mentioned Liam Crossan's name. He threw for about 400 yards last year in a quarterback rotation, a 3-man quarterback rotation.
Big loss on that. First sack of the year. Well, I want to say first sack of the year for the Broncos, but I don't know that's true. They might have had one at Oakmont.
So 2nd down and 12. And the play goes to the right side.
That was Titus again, breaking that up. What a game that young man's having already.
And that's Elkema, the ball carrier, who will bring the ball down to the 25-yard line. So that 2nd and 12 call from, I think the scoreboard was wrong after the sack. It is now 3rd and 13. And the play goes to the left side, slips a tackle down the sideline and into the end zone. That's a Nevada Union touchdown. Xavier Denise is the one that got a hold of that ball and took off running down the left side.
Same screen play they ran earlier in the game that the Broncos were able to defend really well. That time, wide receiver did a great job holding his block on the defender, and into the end zone go the Miners.
He was on the JV squad the last 2 years, but was added to the varsity roster for the playoffs last year. Here's Kaylin Williams, who will attempt the extra point. She was 1 of 2 last week. Ball is on the ground. Here's the kick. It is on the way, and she made it. It's good. So a timeout on the field. 30 seconds to go in the opening quarter of play, and Nevada Union draws first blood. The touchdown pass to Xavier Denise and the extra point by Kaylin Williams, and it's 7-0 in favor of the Miners. So just what the doctor didn't order for Bella Vista. They had that 3rd and 4th and short, and had hoped to make the conversion. Unfortunately for them, they did not. And then a nice drive there for Nevada Union from the 50-yard line. So 50-yard drive for Nevada Union. They overcame a holding penalty and a sack, and then they just had that big screenplay to Xavier Denise.
Yeah, so now is an opportunity for the Broncos to respond, right? They had a 3 and out to start, then they had some momentum, had that 3rd and 4th down that they couldn't convert. So now they've really got to, hey, we're behind now. Got to dig a little bit deeper. So really curious to see how they respond now. Might get a play here before the end of the first quarter, and then all the second quarter to work.
Angus Wright will boot it away. And this one's a short one that's going to take a bounce and be fielded by an up man on the far sideline, who then steps out of bounds. That's Maxwell Prucher. We remember Maxwell Prucher from the basketball team last year, but he's turned out to play football. He had a pass come his way last week that I'm sure that he has been seeing in his sleep, because if he makes the catch, it's a touchdown. But unfortunately, it didn't go his way, and so I think the Broncos did score a couple of plays later on a 4th down. But,
yeah.
But the first year playing football would have been really exciting to have come up with that reception for the touchdown. Split backs in the backfield. On 1st and 10.
Nice little run there. Craig Statler with the tackle for the Miners. But another good pickup on 1st down, so we've got a little bit of a trend going here.
Devon Norwood picks up 5. 2nd down and 5. The ball just short of the 40-yard line. I hear the name Craig Statler, and I think Craig Stadler. I wonder if this guy's a good golfer, too.
That's the end of the quarter.
We bring it to the end of the first quarter. I think Craig Stadler, the golfer's nickname was the Walrus, because he had like the mustache and everything going and everything like that. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that name. I thought that was great. All right, so we are at the end of the first quarter here. It's 7-0 in favor of Nevada Union. So for the Broncos, as we go back to the keys, Max made a great play on defense, so that was certainly one of the keys. The Broncos do need to control the ball, and so far they've been moving it, but they haven't controlled it. I think they were better controlling it last week, actually.
Yeah, I mean, and I would anticipate, you had made this comment earlier in the first quarter, that with McCullum, and they've kind of switched off to some other guys, but that might open up some space for McCullum. They're not just going to go away from him now. They
Right.
might be giving it a little bit of a break, but they're going to go back to him, and so Bella Vista's got to stay true to that. And we got to keep having ground and pound on the offensive side of the ball, so hopefully we can start the second quarter with that.
Well, they decide to strike up the band in between quarters, as you might expect, and the band right next to us, actually. We can hear them quite well, and they will now quiet down as we get ready to get the second quarter underway. Here is a running play, again, Gage Titus, and he is going to be dropped for about a loss of a yard to the 39-yard line.
Looks like they lost. Was there no gain or did they lose a yard on that? Ball's at the 39 now.
And it's I don't. Yeah, because we had the 5-yard gain before. So yeah, it was a loss of
So a
one
loss of yard. Okay,
back
yeah.
to the 39. So it's 3rd and 6 for Bella Vista. 2 wide receivers out to the right, single man in the backfield. Screenplay goes right and off target, incomplete, and I think Bella Vista is going to have to punt this time.
Yep.
It looks like that one was intended for Matthew Bunny, but it just looked like it sailed a little bit on Riley Dick.
Yep. So I mean, can't go for it this early in the game on this kind of field position. Hopefully they can get the punting unit cleaned up there a little bit with a better snap and a better launch off the foot. We'll see. Ryan Werner doing the punting, Max Keogh doing the long snapping. Okay, personnel changes here for Bella Vista, trying to get the right people out on the field. Looking around now, we're sending out, and Bella Vista's going to have to call a timeout. So this is certainly what you don't want to see. You know, you don't use your special teams a lot, but when you use them, you need people to know where to go, who's reporting. You don't want to burn a timeout like that, especially in a close game like this. So they're going to have to talk it over now to get their personnel together and figure this out.
So 11:19 to go in the first quarter of play, and the Broncos, they'll be getting set to boot this one away after, again, another unsuccessful possession here. I want to remind you that for the first time in, 5 years?
Yeah,
Bella
5
Vista
years.
and Castle Roble are going to be playing, and it's going to be right here next week at Bella Vista High School. And we want to hope, we hope that to see you out here. But if you can't make it for the Cowbell Classic between Castle Roble and Bella Vista, we certainly would invite your company here on BV Live Sports. We will have the live exclusive presentation of the live stream, and that will come your way next Friday. Fair catch at the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Nevada Union Miners.
Better snap and a better punt that time, so that's good. They got that cleaned up. Still hoping a little bit faster on the snap, a little bit further on the kick, but better than the first one. So that's improvement in the right direction, and Nevada's going to take over in their own end here.
So it'll be 1st and 10. That's Ziggy Pritchett once again, and he finds the opening along the left side. He'll take it out to the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd down and 3.
Nice little fake up the middle. Broncos weren't fooled. I was fooled, but they weren't. And that's good because I'm not playing. So
Second down. Looks like it's more 6 yards to go. Here's McCallum, and McCallum will bring the ball out to the 43. And it looks like it's going to be very close to a 1st down if they are going to give it to him.
Ryan Werner with the tackle for the Broncos there. Nice tackle, but not before they got the 1st down. So new set of downs here for them.
Checking in with our friends over at Orangevale Live as they live stream the Castle Roble home games. Right now, West Park leads Castle Roble 7-6 with about 11 and a half to go in the second quarter of that one. Fullback gets the handoff this time. I believe that's Elkema. Actually, no, that was McCallum. McCallum took the handoff there, and no gain. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
So far, I mean, fingers crossed, they've done a really good job of controlling McCallum, which is one of their keys. Still find themselves down 7-0 here with 9.5 left before halftime. But no big plays from McCallum.
Pritchett in motion, Here's McCallum once again. And McCallum doing his thing across the midfield stripe. He's down to the 49-yard line.
Biggest run of the game he's had so far.
And so that looks like a gain of 8. It will be 3rd down and 2. And again, we're looking probably at 4-down territory for the Miners. Again, unless something really goes south here. Under 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. Still anybody's game. Bella Vista's offense has not yet found its rhythm. Hopefully they will soon. Hopefully we see a big stop from the defense here. There's Elkema, runs into his own man, and he is going to be dropped for no gain right at the 49-yard line. So that'll now make it 4th down and 2. Here's an opportunity for Bella Vista's defense. And if you're Nevada Union, you've seen what the offense could do. You might consider punting here and pinning him deep if you have the last time their punter booted one, he got it to the end zone. It was like a 50-yard kick.
Yeah, interesting to see. The quarterback looks like he's staying out, though, so I think
they're
going to go for it.
But if they miss it here, then Bella Vista has half the field to work with.
Right.
We'll see what happens. Handoff goes through to the first man, who then shoots forward all the way to the 45-yard line. Well, they'll call it the 46, but that's good enough for a first down.
Yep.
Just hypothesizing.
Yeah.
But obviously they showed faith in their running game, and
it proved true. Lyman did a good job there, blowing up a hole. It's what you have to do in those short yardage situations. Nevada Union wants to get back on the scoreboard again and get this game a little bit out of reach early.
Bella Vista, they need to find an opportunity. They need to make a stop here. There's McCallum once again. He's going to get a couple. Looks like they're going to give it to him right at the 44-yard line, so that'll be a 2nd down and 8 coming up as we approach 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter of play. This is a big defensive series for the Broncos.
Yep. You got to watch that screen on the outside too.
A little misdirection there, and this time Bella Vista diagnoses it beautifully. Pritchett to the 44 for no gain.
Well, Gage Titus and looks like Ryan Werner on the stop there. So Titus, again, we're mentioning his name.
Both sides of the ball.
Yes.
So that's going to be 3rd down and 8.
Big play here for Bella Vista.
Screenplay goes left. The completion is made, and they're going to be short of the first down.
So the Broncos did a good job reading that. It's going to be short of the first down. I would imagine they're going to go for it here. So that's 3 times they've gone to that screen. Once it's ended in a touchdown, the other 2 times short gains.
Logan Iondi is the one that made the catch that time. Nevada Union has already thrown the ball 4 times, which is twice as much as they did last week, and they've completed 3 of them. 4th down, they try to get Bella Vista to jump, and they succeed.
And that's going to be a first down.
They probably saw something on film, because that happened a few times last week too.
Yep. And again, one of the keys to the game for Bella Vista, limit penalties and mistakes. That's a really costly penalty right there.
So it is 1st and 10. 34-yard line. That's Elkema. And that is a pickup about 7 yards. So that'll be 2nd down and 3 yards to go for Nevada Union. So big chunks of yardage, ground and pound. And that's exactly what Nevada Union did to Chico last week. Although Chico did the same thing right back to them and mixed in a much more successful passing game and kept it close and nearly tied the game near the end. This is McCallum. I'm sorry, that's Elkema, actually. And a nice run by Elkema.
Nice shoestring tackle there by Guillermo Perez to keep it from being a touchdown for the Broncos. But now they're first and goal.
Approaching 4 minutes to go in the second half. Broncos need a goal line stand here. Ball is at the 6-yard line. Elkema once again, and he's virtually untouched. Perez finally got him at the 1-yard line, but he was able to carry him into the end zone. Touchdown Nevada Union, and the Miners now have a 2-touchdown lead with 3:47 to go in the opening half.
So again, you know, that drive, it's looking promising for Nevada Union, promising, and then all of a sudden the Broncos get them backed up. You know, manageable 3rd and 4, and all of a sudden it's penalty, offsides. A couple plays later, you're in the end zone, and now you find yourself one extra point away here from being down 2 scores with 3:47 left before halftime, and a Nevada Union team that's going to get the ball to start the second half.
It's Kalen Williams once again. And the kick, she gets pretty good loft off those kicks. I was reading an article in the newspaper up there in Grass Valley, and for the folks up there, I apologize for not remembering it, but it looks like she plays soccer as well, and that is not a surprise.
Nope, not at all.
So she's 2 of 2 for extra points in the second quarter here, with 3:47 to go. Broncos, their defense had a couple of good stops at the beginning of the game. Since then, Nevada Union has scored on their last 2 possessions. Broncos offense has to find the end zone here. They have to find the end zone before halftime and then come out of the locker room with a big defensive stand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is, you know, I don't want to be playing the desperation game, you know, in the first half, but literally being down 2 scores with your opponent getting the ball to start the second half, you've got to make something happen. You have plenty of time to do it. You have 2 timeouts. Actually, I think they have 1 timeout. It says 2, but I think they have, because they took that one on special teams as well, so I think they have 1 left. But
so Wright will boot it away from the 40-yard line. The band, the Bella Vista crowd getting into this one, trying to get the players all riled up here and motivated. Another squib kick on the ground is going to be fielded at the 30-yard line. And the Broncos are going to have the possession at their own 44. Nice return.
So Nathaniel Bjorn sets it up, right? Great return. You're almost to midfield already. Now the Bella Vista offense has to deliver. The line's got to execute their blocks. The running backs got to hit their holes. Quarterback's got to be crisp, and they got to move the ball.
Let's go Broncos chants begin. Norwood is going to set up on the wing. Split backs in the backfield. It's Norwood going in motion. And this is Lopez. Or check that. No, it's Riley Dick.
Pass underthrown.
And the pass is incomplete.
Had that been a completion, that'd have been a nice pickup, about 20 yards.
You wonder if they're telegraphing the pass by putting Norwood on the wing.
You do wonder a little bit here. 2nd and 10, though. Got a couple more shots here.
Clock stopped, of course, on the incomplete pass. Single back set this time on 2nd and 10. Dick is back to pass again, floats it over to the left side. The completion is made, but that's going to be a loss of yardage. Loss of 3. Gage Titus on the reception. So reception for Gage Titus, -3 on the numbers. And now you're 3rd and 11 for Bella Vista, and you almost have to throw it here.
You do, and it needs to be a quick pass. You're not getting a lot of time to throw. But you're right, being 3rd and long here, you can't really execute a great run.
Short side of the field is on the left, so maybe you roll Riley Dick out to the right. See, it's going to be a tight formation, single back set. Dick is going to roll out to his right. He's going to look for something. It's going to send the ball downfield, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. Good coverage on the play by Nevada Union. And the player is still down. Didn't quite catch the number yet. But that is the intended receiver that is lying on the ground.
Took a good shot there. It was good defense. It wasn't a dirty play. It just was a good hit.
No, I mean, and Nevada Union covered it well. However, if he's able to make the catch, it's first down yardage there too. So, but again, credit Nevada Union's defense.
No, they did a good job. And now the problem you've got for Bella Vista is you're going to have to punt, and now you're giving Nevada Union the ball back with, 2.5 minutes left and 2 timeouts. That player's up. That's 11. That's Nate DeLucchi that's up.
So he was the intended receiver on the play. And so it's fourth down now for Bella Vista. They're going to have to punt it away. 2:41 to go. And that's going to give Nevada Union another opportunity and lots of time.
Right.
Ziggy Pritchett is the lone return man back deep to receive. Ryan Warner will boot it away. Nice kick from Ryan Warner. That one's going to bounce, take a few hops. It's going to be down to the 15-yard line. So,
well, Warner did a good job getting that ball out. That snap was low again, and he did a good job getting it.
It's Nathaniel Bjorn that downed the ball at the 15-yard line. It looks like they might say, sometimes it's hard to gauge sometimes. They're going to put it at the 16. So credit Ryan Warner on the punt, and they have him deep, 85 yards from pay dirt. 2.5 minutes to go. And they're going left side. Again, that's Pritchett. And Pritchett will get out to the 23. That's a gain of 7 for Nevada Union.
Diego Leidecker, along with Guillermo Perez on the stop. Again, Leidecker, one of the top tacklers in the team last week, making the stop again for the Broncos with help from Perez.
So second down and 3. Big hole right side, right up the middle. And that play is going to end at the 35-yard line. Elkema with the carry that time for a gain of about 11 yards on the play. 12 yards and a first down for Nevada Union. There's Elkema once again, slips out of some tackles. He is going to be hit and rumble his way forward to the midfield stripe. 15 yards on the play, first down for Nevada Union. Very quiet night for Brandon McCallum after his 200-yard performance last week. Looks like a timeout is going to be called here with 1:23 to go in the second quarter.
Well,
and just like that, the Miners are at midfield.
Yeah, and that's a wise timeout by Bella Vista. All the momentum is to Nevada Union here, and they're moving the ball at will. They're running into Bella Vista defenders, knocking them down, and you wonder how tired that defense is after the big long drive before. So we don't have a time of possession clock, but I got to imagine Nevada Union has got the lion's share of that in this first half.
By the way, let's give a shout out to the BVJV football team. They took care of business earlier today, 26-20 over Nevada Union.
They played pretty well last week against Oakmont as well. They took a loss, but they played. They got some points on the board, so nice to see them rebound here with a win tonight. Get their season to 500.
And a big week ahead for Bella Vista with Casa Roble coming here next week. Casa Roble, quite a season they had last year. First and 10 from midfield, right up the middle. That's Elkema once again, spinning his way forward. And he is down to the 35-yard line, another 15 yards. back-to-back 15-yard carries.
Got to wrap up when you tackle. With a running back like that that's going to juke and jive and spin.
Right back up to the line of scrimmage. That's Elkema once again. Why not feed the workhorse? He's doing the job. And he carries tacklers with him inside the 30-yard line. That's going to be a gain of, looks like it's to the 27. No, to the 26. That's a gain of, that is the 27, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 27.
A gain of 8, so 2nd and 2 coming up. Under a minute to go, the clock is counting. Play winds down in slow motion here. Bella Vista's offside. This is the 3rd offside penalty against Bella Vista.
And there's really no excuse for that. If you're on the defense, you watch the ball. When the ball moves, you move. Because that's going to give them Nevada first down with 44 seconds left.
And now they do wind the clock in high school football after the penalty. McCallum and Elkema in the backfield. Here's Elkema, the workhorse tonight. And he's going to be stood up for virtually no gain. We'll see if he got back to the 27. Clock continuing to run. Looks like maybe Nevada Union's going to use its last timeout. For a team that doesn't throw much, they certainly have moved the ball on the ground very efficiently here. They've used clock, and I believe Angus Wright has a pretty solid leg. He did try a long field goal last week. I'm not sure what Kalen Williams' range is, but they could put 3 points on the board here, or at least attempt it as well if that's what they want to do.
Yeah,
they don't have any timeouts left.
No, they don't, so you expect to see some passes. The one challenge with the passing that we've seen so far from Nevada Union, they've been screen passes, which can tend to eat up a lot of clock if you're tackled in bounds.
But if you're not tackled at all, you score a touchdown.
Correct, so that's the risk that you run if you're Nevada Union, right?
So the Miners coming out of their final timeout of the half, 23 seconds to go. McCallum and Elkema in the backfield once again. Pritchett's out to the left as a receiver. No, Pritchett's coming in motion, sorry. Back to pass is Crossan. Crossan's going over the middle, and that one is incomplete. Down inside the 5-yard line. And that'll now bring up a 3rd down and 10 for Nevada Union.
So, knowing that you've got that in your repertoire, and the clock now down to 19, you got to expect something similar. So if you're if you're on the defensive line for Bella Vista, you got to try to get through and get a sack. With Nevada Union not having any timeouts, that could essentially end the half with no points if they can get through.
Iondi goes out to the left. Same running backs as before. Back to passes Crossan. He's looking for Iondi. Iondi has a chance at it, but it's just overthrown right at the goal line. Incomplete. 14 seconds to go, and a 4th down and 10 coming up for Nevada Union. So what do? It looks like several people are coming on. We're going to get a field goal attempt.
Yep, they're going to try to kick here.
And this is going to be Angus Wright, the exchange student, who is going to attempt the field goal here. Logan Iondi is the holder. So he'll set it down at the 29-yard line.
Bella Vista's going to take time out to talk this over. It's going to be a 39-yard field goal, though.
Yes.
From the hash. Not a lot of wind tonight, but
this is a chance for Angus Wright to show any and all scouts that may be here or may be watching tonight what he can do. Now, he's a junior, and he's an exchange student, so who knows, maybe he decides he wants to stick around for another year. He's having a good time here. Don't know too much about him, but this might be an opportunity to showcase what he can do. From the 29-yard line, Iondi will put it down. 4th and 10. The line of scrimmage is the 23. The spot is at the 29. It's a 39-yard field goal attempt.
If I'm Bella Vista, I'd drop somebody back a little bit in case it's well short.
Spot down. Here's the kick. It's on the way. It's going to be well short and wide to the left. So 10.8 seconds to go, and unfortunately for Bella Vista, their offense really hasn't been able to get out of second gear, if you will. And I would imagine they'll just take a knee and cut their losses and head to the locker room here.
Well, smart football says you take a knee here so you can lick your wounds in the locker room and come back out a changed team. We'll see what happens here.
You could say, what could go wrong in 10 seconds?
A lot.
An interception return for a touchdown, for example.
Yeah.
And Riley's going to throw it. That's his first completion of the game. That'll take it out to the 27, 28-yard line, and that'll bring to an end the first half. I didn't have the glasses on that one. Aaron, did you see the receiver?
I didn't, because I was trying to figure out why we would have thrown a short pass with 10 seconds left when we haven't completed a pass all game. But
well, maybe to get the completion. I don't know.
I don't know.
Possibility.
Just seemed way too risky for what could have happened there.
We are at halftime. It is 14-0 in favor of Bella Vista. And again, it looked promising to start, but and some good defense at times. But then all of a sudden, speaking of offenses needing to get in gear, Nevada Union's did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit at a loss for words here, honestly, George, because Bella Vista's offense just could not get going. And you can't win football games, you can't put points up on the board when you have a Nevada Union team that has a couple different weapons. They did a fairly good job in the first half of shutting McCollum down. They're going to have to continue that in the second. In addition to that, they've got to figure out how to deal with Elkema and
McCallum.
Yeah, McCallum, really. That's who they got to figure out. So, you know, that's what halftime's for. You make adjustments. We can see we got 15 minutes here to figure that out. On the Nevada Union side, you just got to keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
It's keeping Bella Vista on their toes.
And last week it was Brandon McCallum for Nevada Union. This week it is Elkema. And again, he was like the third leading rusher last year as a sophomore.
Yeah.
Pardon me, battling a cold.
No, you're good.
But it almost seems like one game to the next for Nevada Union. It could just be the next person that they feature.
Yeah, now
next man up.
Correct. Now, the good news is if you're Bella Vista, you're going to start on defense. If you can get a good defensive stop, you can get the ball back, and you can take it to the house and get the point. Then you got a one-score game. And that's really what, if you're in the locker room and I'm Coach Jim Gray and his coaching staff, that's the message I'm preaching to Bella Vista is we have got to get a stop and get the ball back.
So when Bella Vista has had the ball, they've been able, they have some solid running backs, Lopez and Norwood in particular. They've been getting the brunt of the carries, some good things, and then it looks like Nevada Union's kind of keying in on what Bella Vista is trying to do, and almost like they're expecting more and wind up in the right places to stop Bella Vista more so than Bella Vista seems to be able to do with their three-headed attack. You throw in Ziggy Pritchett along with Elkema and McCallum.
Yeah,
so.
Ziggy Pritchett, that's who I was thinking of. I couldn't think of earlier, but yeah, you're right. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, that's why, high school football, tales of two halves. Traditionally, historically speaking, Bella Vista's been a second-half team. They've played much better in the second half than they have in the first half. So if that trend continues, obviously it's a trend you want to try to clean up, but tonight we could really use that.
And unfortunately, that trend did not happen last week. Bella Vista had the first 2 touchdowns of the game in the first half.
Right.
Now they've gone 4 straight quarters without scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I was hopeful last week that, hey, we've turned this around. We're going to be a first-half team, and then kind of fell apart.
And a second-half team.
Exactly. We got to put a whole game together.
You expected to see, with the offense doing so well in the first half last week, you expected to see the same in the second half.
Correct.
But, credit Oakmont for any defensive adjustments that they made.
Right.
And then Bella Vista shut out the rest of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
And but again, the penalties and the turnovers hurt them. No turnovers in the first half tonight, and really the penalties have been on defense.
Correct. And they've all been against Bella Vista. Mm-hmm. I don't think Nevada Union's had a penalty.
I think they had a hold.
That's right. They had a hold that came back. So they've had one penalty to Bella Vista's half a dozen. So, again, that was one of the keys to the game was the limit penalties and mistakes. So that's something that you have an opportunity to clean up in the second half.
So in a few minutes, the band is going to take the field. We'll let you enjoy the Bella Vista Marching Band. Just want to remind you of a couple of things we've got coming up. Big week at Bella Vista this week as far as football goes, as the return of the Cowbell Classic comes your way. The Cowbell Classic between Castle Roble, the Rams, who made it all the way to the state semifinals last year, Division IV AA, before bowing out to Sokol. The Castle Roble Rams had quite a season last year, and right now they're in a bit of a fight for their lives, if you will, with 12 seconds to go in the second quarter, down 14-12 to West Park on their home field. Checking in over at eavesdropping on Orangevale Live for that. It wouldn't surprise me if they're eavesdropping on us as well. So that that's a good way to find out how things are going with the opponent next week. So the freshman game, of course, will be on Thursday, and then we've got the JV and the varsity right here on Friday night. First time in 5 years that these two schools are going to meet.
That's right. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited for it.
So we, of course, will have the live stream next week. We're looking forward to all of that coming up. And again, of course, as you are joining us this year, we have introduced to you our new YouTube channel for Bella Vista Athletics. This is where you'll find everything this year that we do. The focus right now is on football, basketball, and lacrosse. We'll see if maybe we add some other stuff along the way. But you can also get updates from BV Live Sports on Facebook. And there should be a slash after the .com. So facebook.com/@BV Live Sports if you want to enter in the URL, or just do the easy thing. Take your phone or your tablet and scan the QR code, and you can join us on Facebook. We invite you to follow us on Facebook, and feel free to offer your feedback and anything else you would like to tell us along the way as far as broadcast. If you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to engage with us on Facebook. So we're going to go ahead and take a break here at halftime. When we come back in a few minutes after we take in the marching band, we will take a look at the first half statistics and get you ready for the second half. It is a 14-0 Nevada Union lead here at halftime.
Show re-engage under the field direction of Danielle Schmidt. Our show is called Re-engage, and our opener is Some Nights by Fun. Okay, now we're going to play a little pop tune for you called Lil Boo Thing.
Once again, that is your Bella Vista marching band for 2024 and 25, their first football performance of the season here on here at the football stadium. We of course will see them more. We've got 4 more games, and next week is going to be really interesting because I believe CASA is going to have their band here as well, which is great. Bring it on, and we will have a party next week as we revisit the Cowbell Classic for the first time in 5 years. Taking a look at some of the first half numbers here, Hugo Lopez, 3 carries for 48 yards. That's all in the first quarter. Devon Norwood, much quieter than last week. He's 3 carries for 11 yards. And then Gage Titus, 3 carries for 8. Riley Dick had the 1 completed pass. Actually, he had 2 completed passes. There was 1 for negative yardage, and then was 1 for about 8 yards at the end of the first half. So a couple of completions for Riley Dick this evening. And then as we take a look at Nevada Union, it is the Ryder Elkema show. Their riding rider, I guess, if you will.
Yep.
7 carries, 89 yards, the total for him. Ziggy Pritchett, 5 carries and 27 yards. And Brandon McCallum, 6 carries for 17 yards. Much quieter game for McCallum compared to last week. Crossan has completed 3 passes and attempted 5 in this game. One of them, of course, was that touchdown pass to Xavier Denise for their first score of the game. So that is a look at our first half numbers, and we're getting ready for the second half here between the Broncos and the Miners. Both teams are on their respective sidelines, and we're about ready to go.
So this is always kind of the exciting part, other than the start of the game, is how both teams come out to start the second half and kind of understand what adjustments you've made. And, there's a joke in the NFL that halftime is just, getting a peanut butter sandwich and a Gatorade or an orange. And You know,
Not
just
all you
kinda
have
sitting
time
around.
for in the NFL.
Yeah, that's about it, right? But in high school, there's a lot of coaching that can be done. There's a lot of adjustments that can be made. There's a lot of things that coaches see on the field that the players may not see in the moment, and so you can make those adjustments. So hopefully we've done a better job of that than Nevada Union. That would be the hope tonight, but we will see.
So the crowds are getting into it, as you might expect, and certainly that's what you want to see. Keep the energy going. Hopefully that can help the team be energized.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's hard to tell. I see a few players on the Broncos sideline kind of motivating themselves and their teammates. I don't see a lot of sitting around, which is good. On the Nevada Union side, similar. Not a lot of enthusiasm that's overt anyways.
Of course, you know things did not really go your way in the first half if you're Bella Vista, and you want to, but you're also within striking distance. Certainly you know that Nevada Union chewed up a lot of yardage in that second quarter and just dominated the possessions. And so, but you don't want to. You still have to look at the math here. All we need to do is make a couple of stops, and boom, we're right back in it. And remember, Bella Vista had a 13-0 lead last week.
Correct.
And then gave up 4 unanswered touchdowns.
Yeah, this game is not out of reach by any means, but Bella Vista is going to have to show up early and then sustain that through the second half.
All right, so this is our first look at Oscar Mortensen, who is handling place kicking duties. And he'll get his right foot into it. It's kind of a short kickoff. Ball is loose on the ground, and there's a big scramble for it. The Broncos say they have it. And just like that, the Bella Vista Broncos have that spark that they need. A turnover on the second half kickoff.
You could not have scripted that better. I think actually the kicker didn't get all of his foot under it, but it ended up paying dividends because then the Broncos were already in position when the Miner dropped the ball. 39-yard line now, and let's go to work.
So we were looking at Nevada Union having the first possession of the second half. Instead, it's going to be Bella Vista. Gage Titus once again carrying ball defenders with him inside the 35-yard line. Gain of 5 for Titus, and that will bring up a second down and 5 yards to go.
This is really a must-score drive now for the Broncos after that big turnover. That's the first turnover of the game. You've got momentum. You got a 5-yard run. You got to just get it punched into the end zone here.
Split backs in the backfield. Here's Norwood looking for the edge. Norwood, oh, he almost broke that. Norwood is down to the 25-yard line. That's a first down for Bella Vista. Pickup of 9 yards on the play.
He was a shoelace away, George, from getting into the end zone there.
That was almost like that one last week that he broke for 54 yards. And just broke free at the line of scrimmage, and he just about had that one.
So keep pounding the ball here. You got 25 yards to go.
First and 10, Bella Vista. Running left once again. Looks like a pickup of a couple of yards. Gage Titus once again. They're going to give him 1 to the 24.
I'll take it at this point.
And second and 9. One man in the backfield. Running right up the middle. That's Lopez. Hugo Lopez picking up about 3 yards on the play. Third down, about 6 yards to go here.
All right. And this I certainly would think you would go for it here on 3rd and 4th down. I wouldn't think you'd try to kick here being down 2 scores.
Handoff goes to Norwood, right side. Norwood slips one tackler. Norwood takes it inside the 15-yard line, and that's a Bella Vista first down.
I don't know what lineman it was on the right side there that pulled and had a block, but that is what got Norwood that first down. So already seeing some adjustments on the offensive.
Football's a team game.
Yep.
You are absolutely correct. Ball is at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10, Bella Vista. It's good to see DeLucchi back in the game. Here's Norwood. Norwood looking for the opportunity right side. He is gang tackled right at about the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to mark him back at the 15.
That's the first play of this drive for a loss, and it's a short one, so that's good.
So it'll be 2nd and 11 for Bella Vista. Base formation out of the wing T. There's Norwood right up the middle. Norwood with all kinds of running room. He's inside the 10. Norwood takes it from the 15 to the 9. That's a gain of 6.
It's a good hole for him to run through there.
And he needs to get it to the 4. So it is 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Would they dare throw a pass here?
I would not, but I would keep doing what's working.
It is 4-down territory.
I'd run to the left side. But what
Side of the field is on the right, so there's a lot of running room there. Motion goes right up the middle, breaking free into the end zone. Touchdown Broncos. Hugo Lopez from 9 yards out gets the Broncos on the board, their first touchdown at home and their first touchdown of the game.
And just like that, now we've got a ball game. Right back in it. Only not even half the second or the third quarter gone. This is a new team.
So here's Mortensen to attempt the extra point. And he sets it down. The kick is good. Well, just what the doctor ordered.
Totally, and just everything was good there. I mean, one play for negative yardage, and it was only a yard, I think. Everybody connected. When the linemen that were pulling, the linemen up that stayed, in their positions. Just good smash mouth football, and just like that, we got a one-score game here. And we're going to kick off again, which is how we got the ball in the first place.
Yeah, do that same kickoff again.
Yeah. I'm all for that.
Well, Mortensen will get ready to put his foot to it.
I mean, we haven't talked about this year, George, but they are kicking from the snout, which is, as you know, my favorite spot on the field. So maybe it's good luck this year or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. But
forgot about that.
Yeah. The referee standing out there just reminded me of it, but.
Ryan Warner going to kick it off?
Well,
no, he's on the kickoff team.
Yeah, I thought so too, and then I saw Oscar running out there.
Ryan handled the kicking last year after the injury to Carson Newman, but he's actually the man immediately to the left of the place kicker on the kick coverage team. So Mortensen has it teed up. There's the boot. This one's a lot deeper. This would be Pritchett. Pritchett's got all kinds of running room. Pritchett across midfield. Slips a tackle. Pritchett. He's going to take this one to the house for Nevada Union. Oh, my goodness. just when Bella Vista got back in the game. The only thing I'm wondering is if there's a flag. Nope, the referee's saying touchdown. That's about an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yep, once he got going, there was no stopping him. Really, really unfortunate there for the Broncos.
So 2 touchdowns in the one for either team in the span of 15 seconds. So Kalen Williams is on to attempt the extra point here, and Nevada Union's about to go back up by 1. Or I'm sorry, by 2 touchdowns. And that is a real shame for Bella Vista. They had a chance to get back into this one.
Well, the good news is we're going to go back on offense, and we just had a really good sequence on offense, so you hope that you build on that.
Bit of a high snap. Williams gets her foot into it, and it is good. So timeout on the field with 7:08 to go in the third quarter. Back to a 14-point lead for Nevada Union.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're trying to look at positives here, the positive is Bella Vista is going to get the ball again. You just had a really good drive on offense, so you hope for a good return, get you set up well, and then continue to do what worked well for you on offense, get in and score again, and make this a 1-score game.
Broncos didn't know what side of the field they were supposed to be on. And now they've got that figured out. Angus Wright will get ready to boot it away for Nevada Union. Diego Leidecker is back deep to receive. He's one of the deep men. I believe that's Devon Norwood's the other one. Well, let's see if Bella Vista can do that. Chico had an 80-plus yard kickoff return nullified on a holding penalty against Nevada Union last week. Leidecker has some running room. Leidecker, he's spun around and he is dropped at the 35-yard line. That looked really weird the way he was spun around, but no flags.
Yeah, I think the way he got pulled down there was from behind, but saw the coach was looking for a face mask, but I think he was just pulled from like the underneath of his pads there. Kind of a weird way to take a guy down.
The movement was consistent of having your face mask grabbed. Now,
correct.
There's other ways for that to happen.
Sure.
So 7:02 to go. 1st and 10 Bella Vista at their own 35-yard line. Need a drive. Need a touchdown. First man through is Lopez. Lopez has some running room. Lopez across midfield. He's down inside the 45-yard line.
We'll take that.
That was nice up the middle, so the interior line, the center and the guards definitely doing their job to create the opening there. Here's Titus. Titus is going to be hit in the backfield. He's going to try and fight his way forward, but he loses yardage there.
Well, and that's kind of a rookie mistake there. You never stop your feet when you're the running back. You got to keep your feet moving forward.
So that is going to be a loss of about 3 back to the 43-yard line.
And now I would probably look for a Bronco pass. We'll see.
So 2nd and 13, under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Norwood in motion from the wing. Riley Dick is back to pass. He's under pressure, can't find anyone. He's going to take off now, send the ball downfield. Catch is made by Gage Titus down inside the 35-yard line.
Well, what better way to redeem yourself when you stop your feet moving to go out and make a big catch, get the yardage you lost back, plus some more.
So that goes from the 43 down to the 31. That's a 12-yard pickup. So it'll be 3rd down and 2. Check that. They're going to put that at the 33. It's a 10-yard pickup. 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Here's Norwood. Norwood. They're going to stack him up right at the 32 for a gain of 1. So here comes another dreaded 4th and 2 for Bella Vista.
You got to have this. You got to dig deep here.
Fourth and 2. And this really is critical. How many critical drives do you have in the 3rd quarter? Riley Dick, he's going to keep it on his own. He's going to shoot forward across the 30 to the 29, and that's a Bella Vista 1st down. Based on where the official is standing, that should be a 1st down.
Well, that's another way to do it. I was thinking that Hugo Lopez or Devon Norwood would get it, but instead you do a QB sneak right off the butt of Max Keogh, the center, and that'll get it.
They weren't expecting it either.
No, they weren't. New set of downs, new life.
So this will mark from the 29-yard line, 1st and 10, Bella Vista. Here's Titus.
Ball's on the ground.
Oh, and Nevada Union saying they have it. But the Broncos recover. That's the first fumble of the game for Bella Vista. Right now, they're winning the turnover battle.
They are. It looked like a little bit maybe there. That was a counter play. It just looked like maybe the counter runner, I don't know who that was, but didn't expect to get the ball. So I don't know if he thought maybe it was a fake where he was going or what.
Did turn out to be a gain on the play for Bella Vista of about a yard. 2nd and 9. The 28-yard line. Dick, back to pass. He's under pressure. Now flushed out to the right. Getting hit, spun around, and he gets it back to about the 30, so that's going to be a loss of a couple and set up a 3rd and long for Bella Vista. We have an injured player.
That's the quarterback.
Uh-oh. And this is a problem for Bella Vista because the backup, Jack Singley, is hurt. They have Thomas Lonnie on the roster as a quarterback. Matthew Bunny has played the position before. But now facing a 3rd and 11.
Well, obviously,
have to bring in somebody else.
Yeah, obviously, your hope is that he's okay. I saw him grabbing his head, which is never a good thing.
Yep. Well, the EMS is out there with a backboard. This is not good.
No, and you hope, that there's obviously we're so grateful for having our EMTs. I see one of the folks that helps with athletic training just mentioned or motioned to the head coach that he's done. So,
oh boy, he is moving. I see his foot moving.
Yeah, it's he just took his helmet off. So from the quarterback position, while they're tending to Riley, Thomas Lowney would likely be the replacement. I see.
Looks like he's taking some snaps right now. Yeah, that is Thomas Lonnie that's taking snaps right now. Lonnie, a 2-year player on the lacrosse program. And quite a lacrosse player. He's the star of the JV squad for Bella Vista the last couple of years. So we mentioned Jack Singley, a sophomore, entered camp as the backup, but he's hurt. And we don't know when.
Yeah, we don't know when he's going to be back. No, you're all right. He's got a rib injury. Now, the Broncos do have Matthew Bunny as well. He has played quarterback in the past. He could be an option.
But it's Lonnie that's taking the snaps. A little bit about Lonnie. 6'1", 180. Riley Dick, by the way, 5'11". So Lonnie really has the more of the quarterback height, if you will. He played last year. He played on defense last year. 41 goals this past year for the JV lacrosse squad.
Riley Dick's mom is in the stands. If you can shut down, please.
That's the announcement you may have heard in the background. You never like it when they ask the parent to have to come down onto the field. We're spending a lot of time here, and you mentioned that was it Riley Dick pointed to his head when he went down, or did
yeah, I
somebody
saw
else?
him grabbing his helmet. One thing that we should highlight here, and we were talking about this pregame before we came on the air. So Bella Vista High School is in a pilot program with a new EMT procedure this year. So typically at a sporting event like a football game, you would have an ambulance on site, and the EMTs would be in that ambulance. And in an event like this, they would then come out. They would tend to the injured player, and if it was required to go to the hospital, which it looks like this is going to be a trip to the hospital, then they would do that, and the game would not resume until another ambulance arrived. The pilot that they're doing this year, there's two EMTs that are on site. They are not in an ambulance. They're just here. They are able to get out on the field much sooner. They're able to do things for both sides. It's not just a Bella Vista thing. They can help Nevada Union players as well. Even with something, if they sprain an ankle and it needs to be taped, they can tend and kind of help diagnose things a little bit better. In the event an ambulance needs to be called, they would then call the ambulance.
And I did see somebody on the phone, one of the Bella Vista staff members there down on the field. I am expecting actually to see flashing lights and an ambulance coming down Madison here within moments.
Yep.
Because they're not that far away, and so and we've seen it happen before. Last year we had a couple of incidents where they had to call the ambulance. So it will be here, I am sure, momentarily. But they are taking their time with Riley Dick and hoping that he will, you need to take your time in this respect. The football game itself doesn't really matter at this point.
No, it doesn't. The number one priority is the health and safety of these student athletes, and obviously you want to make sure that everybody is as safe as they can be. This is just really an unfortunate thing.
It is very unfortunate. We certainly wish Riley the very best, and hopefully a quick recovery. He has played for the basketball team as well. And Riley, he had the opportunity last year. We mentioned at the start of the broadcast, he completed 54% of his passes last year, 463 yards and 3 touchdowns. And again, this is a program that does not throw the ball a lot. And he was kind of thrust into duty last year himself because of an injury when Aaron Mora against Roseville last year suffered a season-ending injury. And so Riley wound up starting, I think it was the last 4 games, including the playoff game. And that set him up with experience, valuable experience coming into this particular season. So on your screen, we are deliberately not focusing in on Riley's injury. You see the Bella Vista sideline right there. And again, we are hopeful that this young man will recover from whatever it is that is going on right now. But they did bring the backboard out almost immediately. And so we've been in a delay now with 2:50 to go in the third quarter. Probably going on 10 minutes at least, maybe 15. And we are waiting to see the awaiting positive signs. So it looks like they're strapping him to the backboard right now.
Yeah. This is just hard all the way around. This is hard for Bella Vista. This is hard for Nevada Union. I mean, nobody wants this, and nobody wants to have a stoppage like this. And I see Coach Gray now summoning everybody, his players together, probably to give them a little bit of an update here. the hard thing there, George, is, I mean, that's a scramble play, right? And so there's lots of guys all over the place, and just things like that are going to happen, you know. Now the whole team for Bella Vista out.
Everybody's taking a knee right now. And coach is
There's a purse that was left in the bathroom that is now at the snack bar. So if you're missing your purse and can describe it at the snack bar, you can retrieve it.
So we're waiting. The players right now are gathered around, hands on the backs.
Looks like maybe a prayer was offered there.
Right. It looks like that was totally and completely player-led. So we understand emergency responses. In fact, here are the flashing lights coming down Madison right now. It looks like the fire engine is arriving first, which is usually the case. The fire engine comes first. The ambulance
Soon to
will
follow.
will be here momentarily. But the fire engine is entering the Bella Vista parking lot right now. So additional paramedics are arriving, and so we will. We now have the emergency response in addition to the EMTs that are on site. So in the old days, if there was an ambulance assigned here, what we are witnessing now, that crew would be out there on the field right now tending to the injured player, and we would still have to await the arrival of a second emergency response before the game could continue. Here they are taking their time with Riley Dick to just make sure that he is taken care of properly.
Well, and I do see Riley's mom out there with some members of the booster. I see Nevada Union coaches, Bella Vista coaches, obviously training staff, EMTs, Metro Fire now coming into the stadium.
So, and in the meantime, Thomas Lonnie is taking snaps from Max Keogh on the sideline at the 30-yard line. You can, actually, it's just out of your screen. There you go. You can see that right now with them taking the snaps and practicing. When we resume, it's going to be 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, and this is a hard thing because we still are going to have to play a football game after all this. And obviously, you know, our focus right now is on the quarterback for the Broncos, but, you know, they're going to have to get prepared. You're going to put a young man in a position that he has not been faced in this year, probably did not plan on being in tonight. And you know, these kind of injuries are some of the hardest because if you're a player, you don't know exactly what's wrong. And so that's going to dwell with you as the game goes on, right? If somebody, you know, has something that's very apparent, then you kind of know what that is and you can process it. But when something like this where you don't exactly know, that makes it hard.
So we are seeing additional emergency medical crews arriving on the field right now. And so they will provide that additional support. Meantime, let's go ahead and check in on what's happening across town. West Park has a 28-12 lead over Casa Roble. Casa Roble, by the way, that's the opponent for Bella Vista next week. They lost to Placer last week, and so after an amazing, really, truly amazing season for the Rams last year, they are looking at starting the season 0-2 before coming in here to Bella Vista for the game next week.
Yeah, Placer, very good team this year, one of the top teams in the section, and he's up.
He is up.
It's an arm injury.
Oh, wow. Oh, that tells, I don't want to speculate, but with the way that thing is wrapped up and everybody's chanting Riley right now, I will take a broken arm over
a head injury any day.
Yeah, a head injury or anything like that any day. And I can't make the diagnosis to what that is, but the way they've got it wrapped up, that's got to indicate some type of a
broken something. Or
but,
dislocated elbow.
We'll find out more and be able to report on that in advance of the game next week. Now the players get an opportunity to warm up again because it's almost as if we had a second halftime break.
Correct.
With what happened. So the emergency medical crews are now making their way off. It looks like Riley has come over to the sideline. I mean, I think he's got to go to the hospital, but he really wants to stick around and see how this turns out.
Yeah, he'll have to go to the hospital. One of the things that's hard, you play with so much adrenaline when you play football, and so the initial injury, there's kind of this shock to the system. Once you get that immobilized, and you calm down, then you go, okay, well, now it doesn't hurt because it's not moving. Hey, I want to cheer my team on. Well, no, Riley, you got to go to the hospital. We got to get you checked out, bud. So our best wishes to him and his family.
Absolutely. And based on what we were seeing and thought there were points to the head and not moving, well, he was moving, but still staying there for so long. Just the thoughts going through our minds. Again, hope he recovers really as quickly as possible for this injury, and you hate to see something like this happen.
Yeah, I'm guessing that the smacks to the head were smacks of agony, of
right.
Ow, that hurts, whatever
Yes.
that is. But we're ready to play football again here.
So the ball is just inside the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 11 for Bella Vista. Thomas Lonnie.
So look for Bella Vista to have some very conservative play calling here to get Thomas some reps in as the quarterback and get him comfortable.
So Thomas Lonnie to make his debut at quarterback for the Bella Vista Broncos. He's had some great moments on this field in lacrosse. See what he can do for football. Marking out the signals, and we got a whistle. And the Broncos are going to call a timeout.
It looked like they were trying to draw Nevada Union off sides. I'm not quite sure why at 3rd and 11, but maybe to just give you a little break. I don't know.
Well, you know what? If you do draw them offside, then it's 3rd and 6, and it's maybe a more manageable play when you run
good
the
point.
ball.
Yeah, good point. But that almost seemed designed the way that Coach Gray was down there ready to call the timeout.
And it may also be something to where here's your quarterback. You're trying to get his feet wet. Get him out there, try it. Get him under center. Get him familiar with that in a game situation without having to take a snap. So, a theory.
Yeah, I will go with the theory because I don't have a better one, so we'll roll with it. I like what you're saying.
All right, so Lonnie under center, split backs in the backfield. There's his first snap. Here's Titus. Titus left side, carries some tacklers with him, and he'll take it inside the 25. Looks like he'll be down at the 23. So that'll be a pickup of about 7 yards on the play. And this is a manageable play for, if you get that same success on this next running play, you've got a first down.
Right. So obviously the Broncos are going to go for it here. You're not going to kick down 2 scores with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Center run into the sideline there. I'm not sure what that was about.
Be interesting to see at what point maybe they decide to let Lonnie throw the ball. And I think you're right. I think they want to let him get his feet wet here. And now we got a whistle and another timeout. So Bella Vista has now just used 2 timeouts on this drive. And again, they've had to change quarterbacks. And so I think part of that is they're facing a 4th down. They don't want, they see something out of the ordinary. Ultimately, you're going to run out of timeouts. They're down to 1 right now.
Well, and one thing we don't know, we're not privy to what happens at practice. I don't know how many reps Thomas Lowney's getting under center. How well does he know the playbook? How well does he know the plays? It's a lot of pressure on a young man to step in as a quarterback in a varsity football game of any program, let alone after a horrific injury like we saw tonight with Riley.
So it's 4th down and about 4 yards to go. Ball is at the 23. So they need to get it to the 19. Split backs in the backfield. First man through. First down, Bella Vista. And that's Hugo Lopez. He'll bring it to the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Bella Vista. So we've got some intel.
Yeah, looks like a definite broken arm. We'll save you the details, but very apparent that it's broken.
That's probably season ending.
Correct.
First man through is Lopez once again, and he's dragged down after a gain of about 2 to the 8-yard line. So they'll mark it at the 8. Thomas Lonnie, the 6'1 junior. 47 goals for the JV lacrosse team last year. Figures to move up to the varsity level. He's getting some varsity football experience as well. Around the right side, I believe that's Norwood.
It was.
And then that's down to the 4. And a 3rd and goal coming up now for Bella Vista. So a little misdirection. Thomas Lonnie executing the misdirection beautifully. He faked the handoff first to Lopez and then gave it to Norwood.
I don't know they're going to get another playoff here with 7 seconds left. No, they're not.
So we have come to the end of the 3rd quarter here at Bella Vista. The Broncos are on the move and looking to cut this lead back to a 1-score ball game, and we'll see where where the 4th quarter takes us.
There's a little bit of pride now if you're Bella Vista, right? You're no matter what high school team you play on, if you're the quarterback, if you're the varsity quarterback, you're a big deal, right? And so there's a little bit of pride for these Broncos now of, hey, we got to get a win here for our QB1. We've got to suck it up and find a way to make it happen. Now, whether or not that happens, we'll find out in 12 minutes, but there certainly is that level to the game. So I would expect to see a very passionate play from this Bronco offense and defense, special teams in the 4th quarter to try to get this win for Riley, as he's being loaded up here on a stretcher and taken off the field.
There he goes. Yep. And I would imagine this is going to impact basketball as well.
Based on the intel that I received from someone down on the field, if that's accurate, and I won't mention it so we don't speculate, but if it's accurate, he will be out for quite some time.
So it's 3rd and goal, Bella Vista at the 4-yard line. Again, if you're just joining us, Riley Dick possibly done for the year. Here is Titus. Titus looking to corner. He cuts up to the left side, and he is in. Touchdown Broncos. Gage Titus having a terrific game at running back this year, and he takes this one to the house for Bella Vista, and the Broncos are now back within a touchdown.
And look at Thomas Lowney down on the field. So enthused, hugging, jumping up and down. Nice job, kid. Nice job.
Mortensen will come on to attempt the extra point. Let's give Thomas Lonnie his due. He
Totally.
came in a very difficult situation, and yes, all he had to do was hand off the ball because that's what they were calling.
Yep.
But you still have to execute the exchange from
Exactly,
center. You
yeah.
have to execute the handoff. He did everything he was asked to do. And we'll see how much more he is going to be asked to do. Mortensen puts that one through, and just like that, it is a 21-14 Bella Vista trailing Nevada Union, and if you're the Nevada Union Miners, you may be having a case of deja vu because it was 21-14 against Chico last week,
right.
And ultimately and Chico had to score the touchdown to bring it within one touchdown, and they had that drive that was going late in the game that ultimately they had wound up turning it over on downs, and Nevada Union was able to run out the clock.
Yeah, totally.
So we have 11:54 to go. And the Broncos, the last time they got this within a score, they gave up a kickoff return. So the key here is to not allow that to happen.
Yeah, you might even look for a squib kick here just to keep it on the ground to try to give the Bronco.
And I think he should do that kick that he did at the beginning of
the half. Well, that would be great.
Yeah.
I just don't think that was planned.
Same result, too.
Yeah, I just don't think it was planned, but that's certainly what I would do if you could make it happen.
So Mortensen has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Here's the kick. It is this time a high short kick. Pritchett takes it at the 25. Pritchett is going to be hit and stonewalled at about the 27-yard line.
And here's the enthusiasm we're talking about. You're playing for your quarterback now, and Guillermo Perez says, yes, thank you very much.
They're going to call this the 26-yard line, and now it's incumbent on the Bella Vista defense to do what they did early in this game, and that's force Nevada Union to punt. Haven't seen their offense in a while here. McCallum and Elkema in the backfield. Here's Elkema once again. He has running room right up the middle, and Elkema is going to take this one all the way. Touchdown, Nevada Union.
I don't even know what to say.
74 yards. So the Broncos got it within
a score,
a touchdown, right at the beginning of the first half, or at the beginning of the second half, and had a defensive or a special teams breakdown on the kickoff, and then a defensive breakdown. Here's Kaylin Williams' extra point, and she made it. There's a penalty flag in the backfield for Bella Vista, which could mean too many men on the field.
Which, if that's the case, Union will decline that,
or they assess it on the kickoff.
Yeah, or on the kickoff, either way.
So Elkema has a 74-yard run. And again, that's the second time that they have responded quickly to Bella Vista scoring. So 28-14. With 11:37 to go in the ball game.
Well, you hope the magic of Thomas Lowney continues here, and
we shall see what this next possession brings forth. You know, we talk about Nevada Union. They are a perennial playoff contender, if you will, 4 years in a row at least. It's a very good program. This is a 10-yard penalty that will bring the ball to the 50-yard line.
I'm not sure what that would have been. I didn't see them. I mean, wouldn't have thought you'd had a hold on an extra point, but.
Oh, is it 15?
So it's a personal foul.
So it's a personal foul.
It's amazing how the yardage just suddenly makes it all fall into place. 10 yards, you're scratching your head. 15, you go, oh,
how many 10-yard penalties on the defense for a point after touchdown?
So really, if you're Bella Vista here, you hope they kick it in the end zone.
And we'll see if maybe they try to go short. And that one does go into the end zone for a touchback. And so the Broncos will begin at the 20-yard line. Again, Thomas Lonnie is the quarterback now with the injury to Riley Dick.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why Nevada Union on their special teams, why you kick it like that just out of the end zone. You know, if you kick that just even a little bit short, you probably back them up even further.
And you force them to field the ball.
Correct. I'm not quite sure. That's asking a lot of a high school kicker, though.
Broncos 1st and 10. And this play's going nowhere. That's going to be a loss of a yardage.
Looked like a bad handoff there. Looks like Lowney scooped it up.
Titus was the ball carrier again.
And I'm not sure if I know the rule in high school here, but I think if you're, he's got to, Lowney has to come out of play. His helmet came off.
Oh, it's Lonnie's helmet that came out?
Yep.
Okay, so Bunny's going to actually take this snap, it looks like.
Yep.
So that is the rule in both college and high school.
Yeah, his helmet came off, so he's going to have to come out of play.
Well, we've seen everything tonight.
Well, this could be a direct snap to Bunny. I mean, well, it will be a direct snap, obviously, but this could just be a direct run.
You
like
could run like the Wildcat if you wanted to, but he's going to line up under center. 2nd down. Bunny, it looks like he's going to take off and run with it. He's going to spin around, get himself free across the 25-yard line. That's a little run there by Matthew Bunny.
Yep.
That was a 2nd and 13 from the 17-yard line. Bunny puts them in pretty good field position there. That's a gain of 9 yards to the 26-yard line. So that's going to set up now a 3rd down and 5.
Nice job to Matthew Bunny there, playing through injury. And now here comes Mr. Lowney back in, or Lonnie. Lowney?
It's Lonnie.
Lonnie, thank you.
And in motion is going to take the handoff, looking to turn the corner. That's going to be a 1st down for Bella Vista. And that's Devon Norwood once again. So we are under 9:45 to go.
So really, I mean, Gage Titus, a junior, your backup quarterback, junior. Devon Norwood, sophomore. They are really helping this.
They're the ones
Bronco.
making it happen right now.
Yep.
First man through is going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage if he was able to get back there. I believe that's Lopez, yes. So we're approaching 9 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Down 14 for Bella Vista. There's not a lot of time left. At some point in time, down 2 scores, I think we're going to have to test Thomas Lonnie's arm.
I believe you are correct here. We're going to have to.
And here's the play. Lonnie back to pass. He's got a reception. Thomas Lonnie, the lefty. And that is a 1st and 10 for Bella Vista.
One of the things,
and that's Lopez with the reception.
One of the things that eats up a lot of time from this Bronco offense is the way that they get their play calls in. It requires the quarterback to come to the sideline to get the play and then get back out to the field, and that eats up a lot of that 40-second play clock every play when you're running the ball.
That's actually a common practice in high school ball. Here's Norwood. Lots of running room. That's another Bella Vista 1st down. Devon Norwood showing what he's got once again. You know, I remember David Houseworth, my broadcast partner on the lacrosse games, talking about Lonnie being a lefty. He's very good at pinpointing stuff like that. Here's Titus. And he's down to the 30-yard line. 4 yards for Gage Titus. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. Clock reaching 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Broncos are almost in a case where if they score, it might be onside kick time, which you can actually still do in high school football.
Correct.
Don't get me started. Here's Norwood. He will push forward down to the 29. They're going to mark him right at the 29-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 28. One of the officials was standing at the 29. So this is maybe 3rd and 4 at the 28-yard line. 6.5 to go. How often have they practiced onside kicks in practice so far? And in motion. This is Norwood. Norwood down close to the 20-yard line.
There's a flag here. It's going to be a hold.
And that's back at the 34-yard line.
Yep. So that's going to back him up 10 yards.
We haven't seen too many of those tonight.
No,
We've
I will.
seen some offside penalties in the first half.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, really, I think that might be the first penalty of the second half on the Broncos. So they have cleaned that up.
And just the one personal foul that was on the last.
On the personal foul, yeah.
Last kickoff, yeah.
So those are significant, though. That's 25 yards in penalties. I stand corrected on that. I forgot about that personal foul.
But still, last week there were multiple holds, there were multiple offsides, and there were multiple personal fouls.
In the same drive sometimes.
Yes.
3rd and long now.
3rd and a bunch. Lonnie rolls out to his left. He's going to take off and run, gets by one man. Welcome to football, Thomas Lonnie, as he gets spun around and dropped right at about the 35-yard line. So that's now going to set up a 4th down, about 10 yards to go.
I'm not sure. I don't know if that was a broken play. I didn't see any receivers that he would be trying to throw to, so I don't know what happened there. But regardless, he got us back basically to the original line of scrimmage.
May have been a designed run.
It could have been, yeah. It could have rolled out, and you're right.
It looks like that's his comfort zone when it comes to passing. We haven't seen him pass from the pocket yet.
Right.
But the 2 pass plays, he's rolled to his left, and he is a left-handed quarterback. This time the hash mark is on the right. Lonnie, straight back to pass, under pressure. He's going to fling this one, and it's intercepted. That's Putnam with the interception, and he brings it back out to the 30-yard line. Austin Putnam, an inside linebacker on defense. 53 tackles last year. And it looks like that's his first varsity interception.
Well, and everybody now is confused because the field has changed. Devin Crichton with a good job of reading where the ball carrier is going and hustling over to make the tackle so that Nevada Union still has a pretty long field to go here with 5 minutes left.
So that's the first turnover of the game for Bella Vista. Here's Elkema. And he's going to be stopped for maybe a 2-yard gain. They're going to mark him pretty close, about halfway between the 31 and the 32. So that's still officially just 1 yard. 2nd down and 9. Inside handoff, that's Pritchett. And Pritchett's going to get it out to the 45-yard line for a Nevada Union 1st down. Under 4 minutes to go. Or close to 4 minutes to go, I should say.
We'll be there in 5 seconds, so close enough.
Pritchett in motion. McCallum, that might be his first carry of the second half. And he's carrying the entire student body at Bella Vista with him to the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain for McCallum. And they're just going to let him get the first down here. So that's going to allow Nevada Union a chance to chew more clock. Crichton coming out of the game for this play. Here's Elkema. He shoots through down to the 39-yard line for a gain of about 5. So if there's one thing I can give Bella Vista credit for is after really completely lackluster first half, how they have bounced back in the second half offensively with a couple of touchdown drives, and they were moving the ball on the third drive. Unfortunately, a couple of explosive plays for Nevada Union has pretty much put this game out of reach for the Broncos.
Yep. Well, and when you run as much as both these teams do, I mean, you're chewing up almost a minute of clock every single play, coming up on 2:20 left in the ball game.
2nd and 5 from the 39. McCallum right up the middle. No, it's not McCallum. Play comes over to the left side down to the 41-yard line. It was Elkema that ran the ball, actually. Good misdirection. They fooled me. Under 2 minutes to go. And if Nevada Union can get a first down, Broncos with just one timeout left, they could probably just kneel this one out.
Correct.
And Elkema is going to be stood up back at the 40-yard line. So the Broncos will use their final timeout with 1:25 to go. It's going to be 4th and 5. So a stop here for Bella Vista and a quick strike and an onside kick is really about what you're hoping for.
Yeah, it is. You know, this likely is not going to go the way of the Broncos with a minute 22 left, but one of the keys to the game we talked about earlier were backups stepping up, and certainly at the quarterback position tonight, that has proven true. Really, really excellent play from that young man. Just that's a really, really tough position to come into behind an injury, and has done a really good job.
And even the interception, that's going to be something that he is going to learn from. That was
Correct.
A situation where they needed the first down. He had to make something happen.
He was getting pressure, and he just kind of lobbed it, and that's going to happen. You're right.
4th and 5. Pitch play, Elkema. And that's a first down for Nevada Union. No timeouts for Bella Vista. The Miners should be able to just
take a knee here.
Take a knee here and let this one roll. And they will go to 2-0 on the year. Bella Vista will drop to 0-2. Checking in on the Casa Roble game. They're trailing 28-18 with 9:41 to go. They're going to run the ball. And they're going to take it down to the 20-yard line. With under 40 seconds to go, that looks like that's going to be another first down for
Nevada Union here. See, I don't want to speak ill here, but this is not good football. This is not you're winning by 2 scores with 40 seconds left, and you're calling timeout to try to score again. I
don't get it.
No, that's poor coaching right there. And I hate to say that about the visitor, but I would say that if we were doing that, it's the same thing.
Well, you put players at risk for injury, and there's just a lot that really don't need to do.
No, there's no need for it at all. You could simply just take a kneel down here, and maybe in the timeout, to be fair to them, maybe that's what they're going to discuss, and they're going to come out and do.
You know, it's interesting. Colorado and North Dakota State played last night, and Colorado was in that same situation, and they threw a pass play. Deion Sanders, the head coach, he's defending his kid by saying he's trying to get a receiver involved in the game, but he should have known to just take the knee in that circumstance. They are going to run the ball to the left side, and it's going to be brought down inside the 15-yard line. Clock is continuing to run, and they are stopping the clock again. Well, that's a first down. Clock stops on a first down.
Well, and they called timeout.
And they called timeout again. I'm just going to let the pictures speak for themselves. We're not going to get into this.
You know, at the end of the day, it may be better just to, at the end of the day, if you win 28-27 or you win 77-0, a win is a win in the record book. There is no other. There's no other note that's put by it. So.
The cheerleaders trying to keep the crowd entertained. So Crossan will line up under center. Same first string running backs as before. 1st and 10. Pritchett's in motion. He gets the handoff, and he's going to be stood up right there at the 15-yard line for no gain.
They're going to call their final timeout. Okay, well. I feel the same way about this that I do at a 14U junior football game on Sunday. And there was a game-winning extra point on the line, and the opponent decided to call a timeout to ice the kicker. And I thought, these are 13 and 14-year-old kids. Do we really need to ice the kicker at this stage of the game? Can we not just play?
To me, though, even at that level, that kind of thing makes sense. That you can make an argument for it.
Sure,
Let me put it that way.
You could make a better argument for that.
I don't know. I don't know that you can make an argument for this.
Now it looks like they're going to take a knee. And they are.
And so they'll put the knee down. The final seconds will tick off. And the Nevada Union Miners will be heading back to Grass Valley this evening. Victorious once again, their second win, holding an opponent to 14 points this week. They put 4 touchdowns on the board. They win this one by a score of 28-14, Nevada Union over Bella Vista. The Broncos, a couple of rough ones to get the season started this season, and now it's the Casa Roble Rams who will appear to be licking their own wounds coming into the game. It's going to be a couple of 0-2 teams that wind up playing each other again, unless Casa Roble makes a valiant comeback in the next 8.5 minutes. They are down by 10 right now in their game. But the players are shaking hands right now, and we have come to the end of the game between the Bella Vista Broncos and the Nevada Union Miners. Nevada Union wins this one by a score of 28-14. Lots to unpack here. Definitely not the penalty fest that we saw last week. Certainly it looks like the Broncos made some improvements in that respect. But obviously there are some other factors, the breakdowns on the kickoff return, and then the running play that led to long touchdowns right after Bella Vista scored. That's really deflating.
Yeah, I mean, there's just, you're right, there's so much to unpack here. I mean, probably the first thing to start with is, you lose your star quarterback. He's down for, likely the season here, it seems like. And then you're right. We got big plays given up. You've got, you've got a questionable 4th down. You go for in the first half that you don't get, which leads to a Nevada Union score. It's just very, very challenging to make progress when you give up, big plays.
Broncos are lined up facing the crowd. So I guess this is the singing of the alma mater. Can't really pick it up that well.
Yeah, this is Coach Jim Gray. Thought that he likes to have the players do win or lose after every game.
It's probably a lot more fun after a win.
Yeah, I from the players I talk to, they're not big fans, but that's okay. That's what they do here. So.
By the way, West Park has scored again over in Orangevale, and they have now taken a 35-18 lead over Casa Roble. Couple of tough teams for the Rams to get this season started as well. So it's going to be an interesting one that we see next week as, Casa Roble off that season where they made the state semifinals before losing the game to Sokol last year. Obviously, as is the case with every team from one year to the next, you graduate lots of players.
Right.
But we expect them to be right up there again at the end of the season, having another outstanding season. It's hard to go from one season of lots of success like that to the other direction. So I expect Casa Roble to be right there in contention again near the end of the year. This is going to be a tough one again for Bella Vista. Third one out of the gate to get this season started.
Yeah, it's really a challenge for them, and they're going to have to do some real, digging deep this week to try to figure out what kind of a season they want to have and what kind of a team they want to establish. They're going to have to, yes, it's going to be a tale of 0-2 teams, but on paper, Casa would be the better team on paper, and so Bella Vista is really going to have to use the advantage of playing at home, of hyping up the fact that they're both looking for their first win, of rallying behind a backup quarterback for the rest of the season likely, and figure out what kind of team they want to be. So hopefully they can do that.
And Thomas Lonnie is going to be under center for a while. The
Certainly.
other quarterback on the roster is Jack Singley. He's hurt. And what is your understanding about his availability at some point during the season?
So he has a rib injury. I don't know if it was a broke rib or a fractured rib, but he has a rib injury. He is able to throw, but he's not able to take a hit. And so I didn't get to look tonight, but I know last week at Oakmont he was out throwing passes to receivers, and so there is mobility there, which is a good sign. Because certainly I don't think that you want to have your backup quarterback be a typical wide receiver. And Matthew Bunny, who's also banged up, by the way, was able to play the whole game tonight, but was banged up. So, we'll have to see. I mean, I think the hope would be to get Jack back, and then you would have Thomas and Jack that you could rely on, with Matthew as kind of an emergency third.
Well, and one thing you know for certain this week in practice is that Thomas Lonnie will be taking the number 1 snaps. And so that had been going for Riley Dick, and however they rotate in the other quarterbacks during practice, standard procedure is that's what you do. But still, the number 1 quarterback is the one that gets the most of the snaps. So Lonnie's going to get that. He is going to be the one to essentially be running the show. So that a full week of practice at the number 1 should probably help him a little bit. He'll watch the film. He'll watch the film of the interception. He'll watch the film of the completed pass that he had. And so he will this will be a learning experience for him. And hopefully for Thomas Lonnie, he'll be ready to go. I'm sure he'll be ready to go, but being able to learn from what happened tonight will set him up for his start next week.
Yeah, and on the defensive side of the ball, you would hope, and again, I don't have timetables on these players, but with another full week of practice, you would hope that Jace Budenbender, as a safety, is back in the game. You would hope that Dominic Ferrarini is back in the game. I mean, obviously not having those 2 starting defensive players, the big play that was given up on defense, you wonder if those 2 are there, does that play maybe get stopped?
Correct.
So, I will say, good job on special teams capitalizing on the weird kick there and getting the ball back. And that really was a good turning point. So there were positives, and I think anytime you have a game like this, you want to pull the positives and try to figure out, how you can build on that. But certainly a lot of work to do for the Broncos this week.
So that brings to a close our season debut of Bella Vista football here on BV Live Sports. We want to remind you that coming up next week, it's the Cowbell Classic right here at Bella Vista High School. The Broncos will take on the Rams of Casa Roble, and it looks like both teams will be entering that game 0-2. So we look forward to having you join us right here on BV Live Sports for all the action that will begin right around 7:15 for the varsity game. And stay tuned and monitor our Facebook page as well for any and all extra activities that may be in the works come Thursday and Friday. So keep dialed in with us on Facebook, and also be with us right here on BV Live Sports, our YouTube channel, as we get ready. There is that big QR code to follow us on Facebook. So go ahead and take out your devices and go ahead and snap that and like us on Facebook, follow us, subscribe to us here on YouTube as we continue to bring you coverage of Bella Vista football. And we'll also again have the basketball and the lacrosse action for you this coming season. So thank you once again for tuning in for our opener tonight. We'll be back with you next week for the Cowbell Classic as Bella Vista plays host to the Rams of Casa Roble. We hope you join us for all the action right here on BV Sports Live. I want to say thank you to all of those who are part of our coverage tonight. We had our statistician extraordinaire, Scarlett Thompson, back with us, and I just want to take a quick look at some of the numbers that she provided for us. For example, 136 yards rushing for Elkema, Ryder Elkema, and then Ziggy Pritchett, 122. They held McCallum to 22 yards rushing. So Keogh's Keys, I guess they met that one.
They did.
So good for them. Let's take a look at some of the Bella Vista numbers. Norwood was the leading rusher tonight. Well, actually, no. Lopez was the leading rusher. 8 carries for 59 yards. Norwood, 13 carries for 47 yards. And then Gage Titus, we saw him get some action, and I think that he was probably giving Matthew Bunny a bit of a break at that wing position. And he did well for himself as well, 10 carries for 29 yards. And so so the Broncos, the running game looks pretty solid. Just got to keep it together and keep pushing together and get those first downs on those short yardage situations.
That's right.
Again, stats, in-game stats provided by Scarlett Thompson, historical stats provided by MaxPreps.com. Our camera operator, Stephanie DeGata, our producer, Julie Tharlson, speaking for Aaron Keogh. I'm George Tharlson. Have a great evening, everyone. Nevada Union wins this one 28-14. Have a great night. We'll see you next week for the Cowbell Classic right here on BV Sports Live.